Hi guys, and thanks for joining. It's Amit from Unlimited Elements. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you step by step how to create this awesome CV resume template inside of Elementor with Unlimited Elements widgets. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the header, and over here I'm going to drag and stuff a couple of things. The first thing is going to be a heading. Inside of the heading, I'm going to write my title. Based in New York City. And great. So next thing I'm going to do is going into style, typography. I'm going to change this to a bigger font. I think that looks good. And I'm going to add something that's called a zigzag wave separator, which is one of our widgets. And just because it looks cool, I'm going to align it to the left, and I'm going to give that a pink background color. Another thing I'm going to do is add a button. I can use the regular Elementor button, but I have a button with a hover effect and with an icon, so I'm going to use that. I'm going to change the text to who am I, and the color to blue. The icon I want to change to an arrow that's going down, and align this to the left. Next thing, edit section by right clicking edit section, going into style, background, and I'm going to select the background image of this section. Now since this image isn't taking up all of the space, what we need to do is we need to add padding. So in advanced, we unlock the padding, and from the top we want 200 pixels, and from the bottom we want 200 pixels. This is looking good. And in style, we can decide from where this image will start. So if I select bottom right, her body will be anchored to the bottom and to the right. And next thing, text color, let's change this to blue, and maybe add a couple of line breaks to based in New York City. This is looking pretty good. I think we're ready for the next section. Next section, I'm going to add a title as well. And one thing we didn't do yet is we need to go into the main title inside of content and change that to an H1. This is important for SEO purposes. So the main title, we will always have one H1 on the page, and the rest can be H2 as the default inside of Elementor. Over here, let's write about me, and the color of this will also be blue. So in style, we can change the color to blue, and in typography, I'm going to make this a bit bigger. Let's go for 50 and drag inside, and we don't even need to drag it inside. We can just copy and paste our zigzag separator. Let's go for center. And what's nice, by the way, about the zigzag separator is you can make it as long as you want. Each bump over here is an item, and you can add as many of them as you want, so it's pretty dynamic. And I'm going to space this section by editing the advanced part of the section. Again, we want to unlock, and I'm going to add 120 pixels from top and bottom. And I'm going back into widgets. I'm going to drag inside a text editor for some text. Inside of style, typography, I'm going to change it to 18 and align it to the center. Great. Now, inside of this section, I want to have 3 columns with all the credentials and all the basic information for the CV. So what I'm going to use is an inner section. I'm going to drag it inside of the current section, and I'm going to delete this right column since I don't need it right now. And soon I will duplicate this current column. And inside of widgets, I'm going to look for icon. And what I'm using is the side small round icon from Unlimited Elements. And over here, I want one row to be pink and one row to be blue. So let's start with the pink one, and we can duplicate this, and the next one is going to be blue. All of this I want to duplicate into 3 columns, and before that I'll just edit the text over here. So let's start from date of birth. '85, and next thing I'm going to do is phone number. And we can change the icon as well. For date, I'm going to find a calendar. Great. So we've done the basics. Now I'm going to duplicate the column once and twice, and this is looking pretty good. Let's just change the data over here, and we can put inside New York and change the icon to a map. Perfect. Next thing we're going to do, I'm going to add a Skype. And the last two are email and website. For email, I'm going to use an envelope icon. And for website, we can use a desktop icon. Perfect. We finished this section, and we can start on the next section. Now, to not start off with a clean section each time, what you can do is just duplicate the current section, since usually websites use the same title sizes and separators and stuff like that. And now we can only add whatever we need. Over here, I'm going to delete what I don't need. And I already have the padding of the section and the title in the size that I want. So this section is going to be a blue background. I need to change now the text to yellow. And or maybe I'll change it to white, and the separator I can change to yellow. I think that looks good. And again, we need to add a intersection over here on the bottom. Inside of it, I'm going to use a different icon box from Unlimited Elements, which is called Small Round. Perfect. What's nice about it is it comes with a predefined hover effect, and you can change whatever you need. And let's duplicate this one and copy, paste, and duplicate this twice. Sorry, not this. What happened now is I duplicated the widget inside of the column, and what I wanted to duplicate is the column itself. So let's go for duplicate and duplicate. Perfect. This is looking good. All I need to do is change the icons, the colors, and the content. So the first one is going to be yellow with a blue icon. This one will be yellow with a blue icon as well. And this middle one is going to be pink with the white icon, and pink with the white icon as well. Over here we can write the titles that we want and choose the icons that we want. Next thing is creativity. We can use a brush for this. And the last one is marketing. We can use a check mark, maybe. Maybe you have a better idea than me. Great. So this is set up and looking good. We can start with our next section. I'm going to duplicate this column by copy and paste. And this next section is going to be the CV itself. So we are going to write my resume. I'm going to align this to the left this time. And same thing I'm going to do with the separator. And again, I'm going to add an intersection, which inside the intersection, I'm going to add a title. One part will be for education. Let's make this a bit bigger inside of style typography. Perfect. And we can make this pink maybe. Great. And the next side will be experience. Before duplicating the column, I'm just going to add the timeline itself. Let's search for it inside of here. We have something called CV timeline. Again, this is from the Unlimited Elements Widget Pack. In items, I'm going to delete the last item so I have only 3 items. And of course, if you open an item, you can change anything you want inside of it. Let's change the bullet to be pink as well. I think that's looking good. And we can duplicate this column. This column we can delete. And let's change from education to experience. After the My Resume part, we want to add my skills and then my portfolio. So we're almost done. And I'm going to duplicate this section. Perfect. And the background here, before changing the background, let's delete the columns. Let's call this my skills. And inside I want to add something that's called a counter progress bar, something like that. And it's also part of Unlimited Elements. It has sort of animated bars with items. You can decide each one which color it will be and how many percent you want this to fill up, and of course the title. Let's delete all the others and just duplicate this one a couple of times so we have the same color, and we can change the values according to our needs. This is looking good. Let's do the last one. And perfect. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change this background to pink so I have some more contrast and from the other section. Color pink. And now we need to change back the separator to yellow, and the title, let's go for white this time. Now if I want to push down the separator from the bars, I can click on it, advanced, and over here we have padding. I'm going to unlock it and add some padding bottom. Great. Now I want to add another column to the right with an image. So I'm going to duplicate this one and I'm going to delete the different elements from inside. And now we can drag inside our image. Regular image widget from Elementor, and I'm going to use this round box, round image, sorry. It's already round, but you can of course play with the border radius if you need. And again, these are a bit adjacent to each other, so I want to make the column gap inside of layout wider. Okay, now the gap is bigger and I think it's aligned a little bit better. We're almost at the end, and I'm going to show a portfolio section. For the portfolio section, let's duplicate this, copy and paste. Over here we can change the title to my portfolio, and I think I'm going to, let's do it like this. Okay, I want to leave the columns. Since I want my portfolio to be 3 columns, let's drag inside. I'm using a widget from Unlimited Elements, and copy, paste, 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 paste. Perfect. We have a sort of quick gallery set up, and let's select the images real quick. Start with this one. Perfect. So we have our gallery set up. Last thing, I'm going to finish off and with some social icons. So back to widgets, let's write social, and I want mega social icons from Unlimited Elements again. Over here, and this is set up to 25%, so we need 4 items, or we can change it to 33% if we want only 3. Let's add another item, and now it's filling up. Now the reason why it's not full width is because of the section. So I'm going to edit section. Instead of content width, I'm going to change this to full width, and we still have a small gap over here. Inside of column, style, advanced. If we take off the padding, it will go full width. Let's just give these some colors. What's nice when you work with items is that you can always rearrange their order. So for example, now I want the pink one to be first. It's just drag and drop, and it will take it to be first. Let's make this one yellow. And the last one, we need to change the icon. Let's go for Instagram. Looks good. And we can make it blue also. Great. I think we got everything set up. Let's just preview this without the sidebar. See that everything's looking good. And that's it. I want to thank you guys for joining. If you have any questions, please post them in the comments, and please subscribe for more cool tutorials from Unlimited Elements. I was Amit Karen. Thank you for joining. Bye bye.